All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Minecraft Musings, the Joker Tower. Oh, I'm really filling up this playlist. I'm gonna have to create a new one, and I really need to start offloading some of my videos. I know I've said that a few times before, but YouTube just keeps letting me upload them. So I don't know. I need to like look and see if there's some documentation, but at the same time, I feel like they have those automatic filters um for swearing. Like they caught me swearing once, in which it could have been that, or it could have been talking about something sensitive. And then I also got slightly censored for talking about a sensitive subject, which was funny. It was ironic because I was actually in agreement, or I was trying to like get rid of misunderstanding, but they ended up getting me for like trying to spread misinformation about. Yeah. Which actually, I saw something the other day that's a little concerning or interesting. Concerning for sure. But it was talking about how, like, we were going to try to blame China or get China uh, to admit wrongdoing. And it showed a figure. It showed, like, all the people that died from the pandemic. And it was like, China's responsible. And it's like, whoa. And that's the thing, too. Like, I would like to know where the pandemic actually came from and how that happened, because it was a bunch of garbage. Like, I mean, yes, we took precautions to protect our elderly, and I agree with that. And I did take as many precautions as I could. I was one of the ones that complied, but I complied with concern the whole time. Like, it just kept getting weirder and weirder, and, like, I don't know. I don't know. It was a really weird time for everybody, but and the times have never stopped being weird, but they're kind of like in a good weird now. Oh, actually, before I forget, in fact, let's just go ahead and do that now because I am going to forget. And not because I'm being disrespectful or anything, I'm just spacey. Have been diagnosed with ADHD, so I mean, there is that, but I was also diagnosed with depression and a couple other things, and it's like, once I did a couple of life choices and adjustments, my depression vanished. Imagine that. So, and by that I mean using natural substances like cannabis and mushrooms. Like, I've always been hippy dippy like that. And yeah, a partier with other things. And that was only dangerous. I still stand to this day that I could have done literally any substance and I could have used it responsibly had it not been for law enforcement and people taking shortcuts. So, and that's actually going to be added to the shack of shame here very shortly. Um, the sex offender that got me in a lot of trouble. So, boiled my blood, really. And I sent a letter to the governor, actually. And so that's like one of like the secret things. And since this is like buried deep in my channel of thousands of videos, and I'm not too, and he's got to know that there's a good chance that I was going to go to the cops because the only reason I didn't was because I was doing illegal things, which ironically aren't illegal now. Dealing with cannabis and mushrooms. Like, yes, but I wasn't actually selling them all that much either. I mean, it was more like you were trying to do savvy investments, if that was ever the case. Like you didn't want to spend a whole lot of money, so you'd like it was like Groupon. Like you'd find a bunch of friends that also wanted to use the substances, and then you'd pitch on them together, and that's how you do it. Like that's how you stretch your finite resources further. And the whole time I was dealing with depression, so I was trying to self-medicate to fix depression that was ironically caused by the alcohol. The alcohol and PTSD of my father's suicide. So I mean, like there's a lot of things. Like and it's funny because now we're finding an ibogaine. I'm really interested in ibogaine because I have a colleague that she's on a kind of awkward basis with me. Like I betrayed her trust, and I feel bad, and I need to talk to her about it. And then when I was coming out of my mental breakdown, I said some weird things on her thing, but things I still stand by. It, like a capybara cannabis cafe would be amazing for rehabilitation services, like to help put people's life back on track. And I'm still pursuing that. It's just I took a major hit recently. I was hoping, really hoping that this project that I was working on was going to come to fruition. What do I need? I was gonna say I should still stick to. I need a lot of oak logs, and that's what I was trying to look for. Like I don't think I have a lot, because I want to keep all these houses somewhat the same, like this neighborhood. I mean, they can have different styles for sure. This is a massive barn with, in fact, let's check it out. Here's some horses, and it's a whole floor of hay bales. So it's a nice, soft, like barn floor. Um, I fed them lots of apples. They're in here. I pretend that they get out and they go run and frolic and people take them out, but really it's just me in this world. So, I mean, I did have a buddy that used to come by, but lost touch, and that's fine. And honestly, I don't really want a bunch of people in here either. Like, my kids are here, my family's welcome here. I mean, I still need to reach out to the cousins and stuff, but that communication was broken once I started playing hopscotch with the law, which I've been caught for too. That's why I don't really care about talking about it on here because I've been busted. It was a slap on the wrist. I mean, it could have been a lot worse. It could have been a lot better too. I mean, like I lost years of my life to nonsense. I mean, which now, if I would have been caught nowadays, nothing would have happened. Like just if I maybe distributing psychedelics without a sales license or business license or something, like something silly like that. Not so much like, oh my gosh, he's got drugs, he's destroying the community and he's hurting people and blah 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 blah. No, I wasn't out there preying on people trying to get them to buy substances. Like, no, I was a shaman, and it worked too. That's the funny thing. All sorts of pharmaceuticals and psychotropics. Like the psychotropics actually did horrible damage. Like I was put on them a couple of times. Once to deal with my depression with my dead dad, and had some therapy and they put me on pills to zonk me out. Um, I think it was olanzapine and like psychotropics, ones that just like deaden your emotions, deaden your feelings, deaden your body, like deaden you. You feel like a zombie and you're just kind of existing for a while. You're like, okay. And that was also while I was semi incarcerated, like a halfway house. So I had one foot in prison, one foot in the community. But so I got treated like a prisoner inmate, but yet I had to pay money to be there. And then I mean, granted, I could wear my own clothes and I had my possessions, like within reason. They all had to be approved and searched and fondled all the time. Same with me. I had to be approved, searched, and fondled all the time, which cracks me up. People are complaining about like TSA. Fool, I had people grabbing my junk every day, like literally grabbing it to make sure I wasn't hiding anything. Like, TSA, cry me a river. Like, you bunch of lames. So, anyway, sorry, that's my soapbox there. But also, I got to be kind of careful. I don't have my phone, so I'm going to have to try to keep an eye on the time. But I came here to build a house for Jeff, one of my buddies, who was also in the halfway house and has since passed on. And he was not much older than me, which is ridiculous. And I want to say it was to the war on drugs, like either directly or indirectly related to silly prohibition and dangerous prohibition that really upsets me when I see people like Kevin Sabet, total tool and D-bag, but I respect him because he is respectful. But what he's pushing and how I find out more and more about this little, yeah, I will stand by it. He's a D-bag. Like, he was in different presidential administrations' ears about weed laws. He he advised the Pope. He had talks with the Pope about prohibition. Like, this guy is human garbage. Like, and the Pope, I'm sorry, rest in peace, the recent Pope, but also human garbage. Like, anyone who isn't willing to stand up and be like, huh, we're treating people really bad because of weed prohibition. Like, at no point did I ever hear him speak out about police, please be gentle with these kind souls. They're just trying to self-medicate, blah, 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 and all that. Like, which everybody really is. Like, nobody's out there like, meh, it's my goal to make everyone in the world a worthless, drugged out zombie. Like, if anyone's really meh, it's the pharmaceutical companies and doctors. Like, and I was just watching this spokesperson, Brian Hubbard, I think it was. I just followed him. I realized I thought I was following him already, but he's been on the Joe Rogan show and he talks about ibogaine, and that's actually what my colleague, which yeah, we're on shaky terms, but She works in a place in a facility down in Mexico with ibogaine and natural psychedelics, and I've been working with natural psychedelics since middle school. Like, it's not anything new to me or my friends. Like, we knew that this was like, an awesome power where you could literally feel like you're speaking to God and communing with nature and apologizing for the shortcuts and transgressions you took against nature and trying to do better. And I will. I'm not a great, nature conservation warrior, but like I do work for a nonprofit that provides international education. So like I am trying to do my part to help heal the world of at least wounds done by communications, miscommunications, lack of communication. Like I even commented on a Chinese post the other day that like I feel like even if President Trump saw it and President Xi, I think it is. Yeah, I think it's just President Xi. I know his face. I'm just not really good with names, but I think if either of them saw that, they'd both look at it and be like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense. Like, it sucks, but this is what it is. Like, it is what it is." And that, if you ever go to jail or prison or a halfway house, you're most likely going to hear "it is what it is," which is like people just have to accept these ridiculous things that it's just not going to work. Like, so, and anyways, and so I'm going to push on. The current project is stalled, actually, but that's fine. Like the projects that actually involve my work, and I'm okay like that. If we need to take a step back and regroup, we need to take a step back. But I mean, that's not going to stop me from doing communal. Now, what is stopping me from being too active in communal? Well, one, conflict of interest. Like if anybody found out that I was officially like the head of this thing, it might raise questions, but at the same time, I don't think it would. And so I think I need to do the cart before the horse, or no, the horse before the cart, which, I mean, we don't even use horses to carry carts anymore, which is awesome. So right there, instead of everybody riding a horse and, keeping a horse as not even a pet, as a mode of transportation, like, hmm, like think about that. Back in the Western days, you'd have to tie up your horse outside the saloon and then you'd come out and potentially be all drunk and go try to ride your horse somewhere else. And, even that, the world has gotten better and it will continue to get better. It's going to get worse too at times. Like there's still miscommunication out there. And that's like one of the biggest things I'm trying to fight right now is just the nonsense. And that's why I need to get into like, I don't know, I got to figure out how to do it without being too revealing, I guess, is the thing. Because part of cybersecurity is you could dox yourself. You could accidentally let people know like where you're at. All that. Although it's funny because I just put Fort Collins like on my X app. Like I let people know exactly where I'm at. Like come to Northern Colorado, I'm here. I don't say that. Like I used to say that back in the StarCraft days, and often not a lot. Like it'd be like, somebody would lose a game, you just utterly destroy them, and they could either say, GG, or they could complain and get mad. And oftentimes they did the latter. They'd complain and get mad, and they'd get all salty. Well, not oftentimes. I shouldn't say that. If I had to guess, thinking back and trying to remember, I'd say it was actually very rare that I had somebody that would get really upset and butthurt, but it would happen. And they would say all kinds of things. Of course, there was also sussy things too. Like I was going through puberty, and this is like middle school when I first started playing online, and so there was sussy chats, and then at the end of the chat, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'm like a 40-year-old dude," and it's like, "Wait, what?" And today, if that happened, actually, honestly, I don't know. If it happened today, I'd probably be like, whatever. Like, because there's no cameras, you're just texting back and forth, which is still bad, but at the same time, like, if you've got like a hot lady in your mind and that's what you're doing, I don't think it matters. I mean, and I'm not condoning it. Like, if that was really a 40-year-old person, they need to get the crud beat out of them. And that's my solution to pedophilia is a good physical uh, remedy. Not death, though. I don't know. I don't really think anybody should be put to death, but a good whooping and some medication and then reinforcement. Like if they do it again, a bigger whooping. If they do it again, then they're just in prison for a very, very long time. I feel like there should be a three strikes rule thing, or maybe two strikes with that one. Like, fool me once, shame on you. You know, bam, bam, bam. Just slam them around, put them in jail for a bit, and then put them on medications. Mushrooms, though. Mushrooms and weed, while with therapy, because it's all important. You can't just like do one without the other. Like, I mean, otherwise you are just partying and having fun. And there is some benefit, sure, but it's not great. It needs to be guided meditation and rehabilitation, and then encouragement. Like, because the biggest thing about like when people get caught and they like have to stop partying and all that, it's the realization is like, oh, I can never do this again. I can't use substances, when that's quite a lie. Like, I live in Colorado where people can go to a grocery store type atmosphere and select cannabis at will. They can even have a good conversation. I love the ladies. Mostly ladies are there. There's a couple dudes too, but it's like that's another thing I love about it is the dispensary I go to is like ran by ladies. It looks like women business. Yeah, because I think it was so before, because it's Starbuds, and they actually gave me a shirt, two shirts actually. So, and they gave me the green light to advertise unofficially on TikTok, and because I'm starting on my TikTok, that's one of the things I'm gonna have my kids do for jobs is like hold the camera and stuff and like help me edit the videos, and they already know like I'm a big fan of Wu Tang. I got a giant tattoo of Wu Tang. Like, they know about hip hop. They know that hip hop has always stood about like graffiti and what is it? There's like four pillars of hip hop. Graffiti is one. The DJ is one. Um, and honestly, I can't remember the other two, but it's not that big of a deal for up in the mountains. Like, we did have our graffiti, but you're trying to balance respect with, being a hoodlum. And at the end of the day, we didn't want to be hoodlums. We just wanted to smoke weed and be left alone. Like, and if that makes us hoodlums, okay. Like, and unfortunately, back in the day, it did. And still to this day, like, it's not good if teenagers should use it sparingly. Like, I was watching, so I debate with a lot of prohibitionists nowadays. Because if weed was like commonly socially accepted, people like Jeff might still be alive. Like, I know he had his other drug problems, and like, and that's the sore thing is like with black markets, you get questionable substances that could very well be like, oh, well, this is laced with meth, and now you're addicted to meth, and that's very scary. Now, that's one of the things, like with the whole war on drugs, is like if we did have legal, regulated markets of safer substances, then like I would bet that we would almost have zero drug problem or very low. Like, and if people were allowed to use substances up to the point of abuse, then fine. But we impose artificial pressures and artificial hardships on people with the war on drugs. And nothing worse than Biden's own mouth. Oh wait, also, so let's see. So this is Greg. This one hit me really hard. Like, I was really sad to hear that Greg died. I did not expect that. But then same with this one. Wait, is this my dad? I can't remember. Honestly, it doesn't matter. One of these is my dad, one of these is my buddy's dad, and one of these is my co-parent's dad, which I need to make another one. So actually, never mind. I've got maybe my dad. Ah, or no, you know what I think I was doing? I was doing my friend's dad, which is also very recent. That's why, and that's what this is. This is supposed to be chronologically, loosely chronological, and I have a stack and a heap. So in computer science, a stack is when you put variables on top, um, and then that's how you retrieve them. You either pop the top off a stack, or you can push onto a stack. And then same with the heap, but the heap is just the backwards. It's at the top of a memory chain, and you push variables up to the heap while you push variables down to the stack. And what a stack overflow is, and when the stack fills up and the heap fills up and they collide, and then they crash your computer. So, anyways, so Jeff is a recent one. My dad, that's right, my dad's going to wait a little while, and I need to extend this, but I got an idea. Wait, you know what? That's too far to run. We're going to need a workshop depot. Okay. All right, so now I need some sticks. I have sticks. I need some signs. Here's your sign. Blue collar comedy tour. It was a love hate thing. So embarrassed by Hicks, but at the same time, it is funny. Why can't I make a sign? Oh, that is a sign. Is that the type of sign I had? Oh, well, whatever. So this is Vic. Also very unexpected. Health related issues, like I think diabetes stuff. Like ridiculous. Like he was a big, strong dude. Like I thought he was healthy and like was pretty high up ranking in the Air Force and the military. Like a mechanic for the Air Force, but he traveled all over the world and did upkeep on planes and whatnot. This one is Dwight. This one was a little more expected, but still, I mean, they're all sad. Like nobody gets excited. Like, and even if you think you do, if you're excited about someone dying, like you're not. I mean, oh, see, that's why I was confused. Well, whatever. I'm gonna label him. This is Greg. This one really sucks because he was going to be involved in the communal and all that. He was super stoked about all of it, and I don't know. Like I almost worry that was depression. I mean, because he had a good life. I mean, he was the regional manager. Or he was like the head manager of a fast food place that I worked at. He was an old, wise hippie, a conservative, which was awesome because I haven't met too many hippies that are also conservative. I mean, I have met them; they exist, but for the most part, people that use and trade substances were hippies, Democrats. Like they were not like. All right, let's see. Wait, how much space am I doing between these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that's what I thought. So 10 spaces. Then I can do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh man. So I don't know. I'm trying to think if anybody else. And the other thing is like there should be honorable mentions, and I'm going to do that too. This is just the primary, the closest memorial cemetery, whatever you want to call it, to me. It's my most personal lost people. I like to think they're not lost. They've just moved on to the next world, whatever's after this, and maybe that's reincarnation back into this world. You know, that would be fine too. But sorry, I just want to make sure I do that so I know that this isn't a tree. This is actually that. So let's do this row there. So that lines up there, that lines up there. Oh wait, no, I don't do that. That's right. I do planks. So not this row. Now they don't have to be as ridiculously big. Like I did my buddy's dad, because he was like a kind of like a second dad for a while there. I mean, not really. Like he was, but he wasn't. Like I spent a lot of time over at the house, but then also he was gone a lot because he was a single parent. So it was just my buddy and I. Like, but still, I mean, Marine. And so he was ROTC. I don't know if Greg actually served in the military. He served in the war on drugs for sure. And that's another reason I had a lot of respect for him. But then here, Dwight was a Marine about anti-drugs, anti-profanity too. He was, which I mean, I respect that. He was anti-disrespect, but the way that that manifested was no profanity, no swearing, no absurdities, no crudities, like fart jokes and stuff weren't like, those were shameful and everything. It's like, then here, Vic, I didn't really get to know Vic all that well. I wish I got to spend more time with him. Of course, that could be said with all these people. I mean, same with Jeff. Jeff and I spent a lot of time together. We were locked up together. So I mean, like, and our buddy the Sauce told me about him. And that's what sucked is because I was just starting. So this is Jeff. Let's do Jeff 10 wide. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, is that what I'm doing with? Oh, well, whatever. It was just Jeff. He doesn't need a massive house. I'm sure he'd be fine with it. A nice, comfortable abode. It's not a lack of respect. It's just a. Well, I guess it could call it ranking too. I mean, Vic and Dwight in the grand scheme of things outranked Jeff. I would say in things, not just military. Like in the war on drugs, I consider that military too because guess what? It is a war. Like it's always been a war on people, just people using substances. It's been the biggest load of garbage ever, and pointless too, because it has not fixed drug use at all. If anything, it just made people be more careful about it. Like and which is kind of good. Like without some kind of structure or rules for them to follow and things to avoid, like it could go rampant and it could be a problem. But at the same time, like, I don't know. I feel like even the worst crazed drug frenzy is still not as bad as someone who's had too much alcohol. Seriously. Like, and I, from personal experience, like, every time I've seen a fight, every time I've been in a fight, every time, like, alcohol was involved. Like, when I beat up the rapist, like, he, well, he punched me. He attacked me because I was drinking on my 40 alcohol. I also had some other substances going, hallucinogenic. Um, I think a benzo even. I wasn't really big on those, but like one of the buddies that I had hanging out, he was like, "Hey, I got these," like his own meds. I was like, "I guess sure, I'll try a little taste of that." But like, I was like, I'm really trying to do this over here and sip my beer and enjoy my hallucinogen. So, and even then, I feel like that kind of counters a lot of the alcohol because then you're just in a peaceful, passive mode, like peace. So, but no, the 40 was not helping. But the dude that attacked me, he had been drinking vodka, I think. And he knew he was going down for rape. He just knew it. And he did. He did get caught. I will say that. He got busted. Two women came forward and with the police caught him on a phone admitting that he knew that they were drugged when he had sex with them. He raped them. So right there, I've never done anything like that. I have done some stupid things, but I tell you what, I've never disrespected somebody so much to take a shortcut with their body like that. Even and I feel like a few of the ones that I have done were questionable. And like if anything, before I'm dead, I want to reach out to them and make sure that they don't have any animosity towards me for taking those shortcuts. You know, like oftentimes I was drunk too, which is no excuse, but it is kind of something to keep in mind. It's like, wait, if the man was under the influence, then was he able to consent? Or was he able to be liable? Like that. Of course he is because he made the choice to, do the drinking, but at the same time, it's like if you killed somebody while you're drunk, you'd still be held accountable for killing somebody. Like that's just how life works. I mean, you would be punished because those actions led to this. Like, so yet we have such an alcohol cartel, and I even worked for them. Like I was a software developer for a company that did. It was actually it was a pretty cool company. It just we were helping people distribute alcohol and store alcohol in warehouses and stuff like that. Like it was like working with the enemy for somebody who lost a dad to alcoholism. Like I hate to say it, but I did not see alcohol very favorably. But of course, I loved it because I was addicted to it. So there was that. Let's see. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait, oh no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I made it 11 wide. Okay. So would that work? No. Wait. I didn't hit it at just the right angle. There we go. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Is that centered then? Wait, three whole blocks. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So you can partially see the four. 1, 2, 3. All right. We need a door. Oh, and actually, you know what? and wait, pressure plate. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do if and when I do get my Twitch streaming going. Is just finish these memorials, make them extravagant, make them large, and then start building the other floating islands. Because this is the Joker Tower, which is, I mean, technically we're not. Wait. Let's do it the other way. And also, wait, am I doing? Just realized I could replace that with. No, I guess it's fine. So I could put like wood here. Oops. I was off balance anyway. There we go. Rest in peace, Jeff. I hope you're up there doing something fun. Still weightlifting. I mean, he was a beast too. Like he was doing on the lat pull down or like the. I guess that's what it's called. I don't know because you could also do like. Either way, it was the one where you sit down and you reach up and you grab the bar and you pull it down. Or it wasn't even really a bar in this case at the gym that we went to. They do have one that you do that, but the machine that I was doing, and that's another thing I need to do is I need to write a thank you note to that gym owner because during the pandemic, he actually let me slide. I got laid off, so I didn't have an income, but I needed to keep working out to keep my mental health and my happiness up, and so he actually let me slide and didn't charge me for like 3 months there during the pandemic. It was awesome. I felt so ashamed like to go in there and be like, hey, I can't afford to come here anymore. Like I didn't even have a job at a fast food place for a while there. So I was trying to get like a developer job or like a warehouse job or like a real job or something. Not that fast food isn't real. It's just, that's really for high school kids and young adults unless you've been there for a few years, and then of course your management. And I got offered shift supervisor like almost instantly because I had such experience with Subway back in the day. The entire time I was incarcerated in the halfway house, I worked at Subway, and I was offered my own store with them too. So positions of trust, even though I was a notorious drug user, drug dealer, gangbanger, like, and it's funny, and also Marine recruit. Because I wasn't really a gangbanger. I wasn't really a Marine. I got an award. Here, let's Jeff. So he is not forgotten. I don't know if that's actually how you spell it. I apologize. So I'd have to look that up. But we weren't allowed to have phones or computers or anything when we were incarcerated. So like, yeah, some people did, and you'd had the one person like. So anyways, there we go. There's Jeff's house. For now, it's about as finished as any of the other ones. In fact, let's get. Because that's the other thing. When I do start streaming, I do need content to make. Like, I need something to do, which there's always something to do. Play video games, like think about things, talk about things, and work on. So what I need to do is now I need to network. So I've got my feet down under me, so I can support myself. Mostly, I still need to lean on family, but and then I want to get to the point where I'm helping others. And I've also been thinking about. So I recently saw somebody that had ripped me off, which has happened a couple of times, but he stole an ounce of bud from me, who actually belonged to somebody who was on physical disability, medical disability, and it was his medicinal cannabis. And so basically, he stole from a dude that was disabled, and so that's messed up. A hippie dude too, one I have a lot of respect for. And so he hasn't gotten away with it. He's not going to get away with it. The world is too small. I've literally flown around the world twice now, And like I've been to the other hemisphere 4 times, but then I flew back the other way those times, the 2 of those times. I feel like there's a block up there somewhere. Is there a block high up there that I'm just not seeing? Well, anyways, we can do some bamboo. Uh, or sticks too, actually. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, funny number. Okay, there's a bunch of sticks. So, I need glass. And I need a mine cart. That's what I need. So we've got Jeff, we've got Vic, we've got Dwight. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest. My dad, he gets a castle. Like, he's my dad. I mean, like, he made me. So, my parents get the ultimate respect. And that is in the Bible, to respect your parents. Doesn't mean agree with them and, completely toe the line with them. But look at that. It's so beautiful. There's a cave there. There's a cave there. There's a cave there. My favorite cave right there. Oh, that's just pockmarked with caves. And I keep going down and harvesting the dirt from there. Oh, in fact, let's go get some sand. This is possibly one of my favorite things about this memorial. Is you could just jump off into the water. Wait, look before you leap. Always look before you leap. That's just a life thing. Ooh, there's some sand over there too. Let's get it. Doo -doo -doo -doo. Ah! And it doesn't matter as long as there's water. But you can't harvest down because then for a brief second, there is not water cushioning your fall. So, so I need to find a desert and just get like massive amounts of sand, like entire chests full. And I need to get shulker boxes. Okay, so that's what I need to do. And actually, oh, we're at 37 minutes. See, I missed it. So let's go ahead and stop this one for now. I'm going to continue to do things, but next up is going to be my tiki-talkies, and I need to update all my videos. So maybe I'll take some time today. I need to add descriptions. I need to change titles. I need to add them to playlists because there's so many videos just sitting in my queue of like, episode X, so-and-so. So anyways, ta-ta for now. I'll see you in the next one. At least we did get Jeff's house started. Oh, and look at that. It's so massive. Huh. There's one spot. What is that? Okay, wait, sorry. I know what that is. I put like roots, like the one type of tree, the mangrove roots, which I actually saw mangroves in Vietnam, which was awesome. But what is that? That's a mistake. Like, I don't even know what that is. It's like I put a sign? Yeah, I think there's a sign, like a wooden sign, on the side of that dirt block right there. Here's your sign. Watch, it's someone that has access to my realm and they're trolling me. They're like, huh, I wonder if he'll find this. So now that's going to bother me. What is that? And it looks like there's another one potentially down there too. Like, it's not the slabs. I could see if it was a slab and you accidentally put 2 slabs together and it builds a block, but it, then that would be the white block. Anyway, sorry, we're way over time here. I will see you in the next one. Ta-ta. Be kind to each other. Down with the war on drugs. Down with the DEA. A bunch of criminals. I will see you in the next one.